Annette, could you call the roll, please?
Yes. Wandale,
Here.
Jameson,
Here.
Anderson,
Present.
Josh Anderson,
Present.
McCamey,
Here.
Yeager,
Here.
Isbell,
Here.
Creasy,
Here.
and Mead. Everyone's here.
All members present. The first we'll have the prayer and then the pledge of allegiance. Who would like to do the pledge? All right, Steve, you'll lead us in the pledge. I'll go ahead and do the prayer. Most gracious and heavenly Father, thank you for your Son and the gift of salvation. Father, my prayer is that our local leaders and our nation's leaders will receive the wisdom of God to act in obedience to that wisdom, and for the power of God to flow in our lives and to act and lead according to your word. I pray for your protection to cover all of our first responders, Father, our law enforcement agencies, our military personnel. Father, during these uncertain times here for us on earth, let each and every heart find comfort in Psalms 23. For in your name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Now you please join me in the pledge to the flag. Hand salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have the approval of the agenda.
Move to approve the agenda.
Second.
We have a motion to approve from Steve Mead, second by Commissioner Phil Yeager. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 From what I see, that was unanimous. Next, we have appearance of citizens. If there's any citizens that's joined in that would like to speak at this time. Hearing none, we'll move forward to Mayor Frank.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first item I have on the agenda is Ms. Ashmary brought me the grant for the Blockhouse Valley Farm. So I didn't know what you all wanted to do with that. If you would like to lease the farm again or go out to RFP and see what we get, or how you wanted to handle that. I'm happy to handle it however you would like. The previous RFP was a contract or lease agreement for 3 years. And in that particular one, it went to the high bid, which was $475 a year for the lease.
Robert, you have the floor.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we put that out for bid, open it up to anybody else that might want to bid on it.
Second.
We have a motion by Robert McCamey, second by Commissioner Creasy. Commissioner Mead.
Well, I was just going to second it, but I wasn't quick enough to get it on, then back off.
Okay.
Oh, God.
May I make a comment?
Yes.
I noticed there was somewhat of a survey there attached to that, but my question was, is the survey one of the entire property? And also, is the lease agreement for the entire property? That was two of the questions I had.
The particular parcel, Commissioner Creasy, what is shown there inside those lines is the whole parcel that's being leased. So you'll see on there is a dotted line there. That's where the county property line begins for the recycle center. And it does not go and cover all that area that goes over to kind of behind American Nuclear, then over to the shooting range, and then over to the landfill. It's only this one particular portion that Jay actually put this one together for this previous lease.
I'm not looking at it on the computer now, but when I did look at it, I wasn't exactly sure. Oh, I see.
So there's where the county property is. And then we have, of course, you know, I think we've got a total of 292 acres, and this is only a portion of that acreage.
Was it 50 acres?
I believe that is correct. Let me, Jay actually has in the lease agreement, it's approximately 50 acres. And then he has, beginning at the point on Blockhouse Valley Road, adjacent to the southwest corner, he actually has a legal description there of the exact portion.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? Phil?
Mayor, do you have any future ideas or plans that you want to put that on hold in case you wanted to, is that where the animal, I'm lost on the exact location, but the animal shelter expansion area, is that property?
It's adjacent to it. So that dotted line actually butts up against the back of the shelter and the recycle center. We do have, before all of this hit with COVID, and then down at Marlowe, we did have a general plan that we would like to at some point expand the recycle center and do change kind of how you come into the recycle center and how you go out, and maybe do some mulching and debris there. But if we do this based on the same type of contract, Jay had put in here that there is a 60-day out with written notice at will for us. So we could always just go back and terminate that if we want to do something.
All right, thank you.
Any other discussion? Annette, call the roll, please.
Wandale,
Hey, Tim,
Yes.
I think Jerry was still finishing up his comments and he might have.
Oh,
muted.
okay.
So, Jerry, did you have something else you wanted to say or ask?
No, since he's going to put it back out on bid again. Yeah, I think a better survey of the two parcels in a better description of the property lines may be a little bit more enticing, but since we're not going to get a lot of money and there is a clause that would let us take the property back, we may not receive any very high bids on that. So that would be, someone may not want to spend the money for a survey with that clause that we may take it back at our will. So, yeah, I'm finished.
Okay, any other discussion?
Mr. Chairman, this is Jay. Can I address Commissioner Creasy?
Sure.
Jerry, I just wanted you to know that those parcel description lines are taken from our GIS system. They have meets and bounds attached to them. They're all embedded in the lease. So that is a legal description. That's as good as it's going to get unless we go out and hire a survey, but they are legal dimensions with meets and bounds and coordinates there taken from our GIS system. Thank you.
Now, I wasn't being critical of your description. It read more like some of the older descriptions following a property boundary by the name of the property owner.
Any other discussion, comment? Okay, Annette, call the roll, please.
Wandale?
This is to put it back out for bid?
Yes.
That's correct.
Yes.
Jameson?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
McCamey?
Yes.
Yeager?
Yes.
Isbell?
Yes.
Creasy?
Yes,
Mead?
Yes.
Okay.
Let the record reflect that was a unanimous vote to put it back out for bid. Mayor?
Yes, the next is no action item, but I wanted to make you aware that in light of COVID-19, the governor, as I had made you aware a little while ago, the governor had put out $1 million for cities and counties to use for certain expenditures. And with COVID-19, the governor's request, I mean, it's not final with the legislature, but he has announced it and at his press conferences, he has doubled that allocation. And so Anderson County would be, under this application process, would be receiving $1,093,102. And I just wanted to make you aware of that. I put that in your agenda packet. What the permitted spending categories are, IT hardware upgrades, capital maintenance, along they don't want really you to go build a new building or anything, but renovations, HVAC, mechanical, new roofs, utility system upgrades, road projects, and public safety items. So that would be any equipment for law enforcement, fire, emergency, EMS, and then anything COVID-19 response related. There is an application process, and it will require the county commission to authorize a resolution that you want to apply and what you're applying for. And I also shared this with the budget committee. So I just wanted to make you aware so that maybe next month or even in June, the application is due, I think it's 4/30. You need to apply by April 30th of 2021, but the funds will be available after July 1st, 2020. So if we want to use this as part of, I know there are capital expenses that are coming forward during the budget process. If you want to use this as a way to fund those and not have to affect your regular expenditures and revenues, this is a great way to take care of some of those things. So I just wanted to make you aware of that.
Commissioner Mead?
Yeah, I believe I just heard the mayor say that it requires a county commission resolution to submit the application, and the application is due on April 30th.
Okay.
It sounds like we need to have that ready for the commission meeting next week.
It's April 30th of 2021
Oh, okay.
deadline. So it's not,
Big
yes.
difference. Thank you.
Yeah. So they have the applications available after 4/30/2020, but you've got a whole year to get them in, but the money will be ready after July.
Yeah. I should have read the governor's letter a little closer. Thank you.
Any other questions to the mayor about the governor's grant? Next, Mayor.
The next item is a personnel policy for planned response to COVID-19. And part of this is really to also address if there were a government shutdown that was necessary. And Kim in HR, she worked really hard on this document, and I think she was going to try to call in and join us. Some of the policy changes to handle workplace exposure, encourage social distancing. Some of those things we've already put in place. So for instance, single entrance and some of those things. And then also as part of this, the Families First Coronavirus Response Act was passed at the federal level. And so, you know, that policy supersedes our own policy as far as sick time and FMLA eligibility and all of that, but we do need to incorporate that into this personnel policy plan. And so that's incorporated in there. You know, if you'll notice in that's kind of the last page, I included the guidance from CTAS on this. Kim and Robbie and I did have a conference call with Mark Treese from the Comptroller's office about the personnel policies and different departments doing work from home and various things like that. And, you know, they said you need to amend your personnel policies to address that. And then they sent along this guidance. So that's really what this document is. Probably the only thing I have, Kim and I worked back and forth on this, and she did all of the heavy lifting. I can't really take any credit on this at all. The only thing on section H on page 5, it talks about social distancing is an intervention to increase the physical distance between people and reduce the spread. The second and third bullet point say the county mayor can allow telecommuting if necessary, and the county mayor can permit flexible work hours, staggered shifts if possible. The only thing on that is I think that would just need some clarification that you know, that would be for my own departments. And I'll give you as an example, in pretrial release, we only have 2 employees. And so we have done a separation because if one of them is exposed, then our department is completely down if they're together. So we have them separated at different times during the workday. But that's probably the only thing that I see. I think the other departments, I personally wouldn't feel comfortable, you know, saying that the mayor is going to allow telecommuting for the registered deeds office or, you know, this particular office. I think that those 2 lines should really just apply to me. And then the other departments, if they do any change to those personnel policies, they can do what CTAS has outlined, which is file that with the clerk or file that with you as county commission. But I'll just entertain any questions that you have on that.
You don't need any action on that, Mayor, do you?
Yes, we do need, because it's especially just to update the personnel policy for the to reflect the Families First Coronavirus Response Act. This is just a planned response specifically for the coronavirus pandemic. So it does not alter the personnel policy for anything outside of the coronavirus pandemic.
So we need a motion to approve as stated.
Yes, sir. And I would like to work with Kim just to clarify that on the telecommuting and the mayor, that would just be for my department, and then the other departments could.
Commissioner Meade,
Yeah, so moved to approve the document as submitted with is it going to require any modifications to clarify that for part of it only applies to the mayor's department?
Second.
got a motion, a second by Commissioner Creasy. Commissioner Jameson? Do you wish to speak? Okay.
Well, Chairman, this is Kim in HR.
Yes.
So I believe on H, what we had stricken the word mayor, and it was supposed to say the county can allow commuting if necessary, as well as the flexible hours. I noticed that, as well as another section that might want to be updated. But I feel like, too, as we move through COVID-19 and as many changes as we're seeing, understanding this is a working document that may need to be updated from time to time with legislation that's put in place to address the need or the changes that come about.
Okay.
I believe the mayor addressed part of this in that she wanted to say that the mayor may do this, then other people, the other elected officials in their offices could adopt what they want to do. If we say the county may, then it kind of says that everybody may. And I kind of like that wording better, actually, the county may, because it doesn't direct them or require them, but it says they may. So does that need to be modified before we make an approval just to get this thing started and come into compliance with the planned response?
Mayor?
I think that's fine. I think we do need to make sure that when we say the county can allow telecommuting if necessary or flexible work hours, I think there does need to be some kind of a system or accountability for that. You know, how are they being supervised, or how is that happening? And so I don't know that we've addressed that in here, but I certainly think we can fix that. But I'm fine with striking the word mayor out of both of those because, I mean, again, I express my own discomfort with having any authority to authorize that for other departments other than my own. So I think that's a good change.
I would like to modify my motion for it to include that wording change, so it says the county may, or the county, where I think it said the county may, but basically deleting mayor, instead of saying the county mayor, saying the county.
Commissioner Creasy, are you okay with that? You were the second.
Yeah, and I think those are good words from the mayor and from Commissioner Meade both. I think they're right on top of it.
Okay. Any other discussion? Annette, call the roll, please.
Wandale,
Yes.
Jameson,
Yes.
Anderson,
I heard it.
McCamey. Okay, McCamey,
Yes.
Yeager,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Creasy,
Yes.
and Meade.
Yes.
Yes.
Motion passes with unanimous vote. Next, Mayor.
I think that was just a duplication. Oh, no, the grants update. I was just going to fill you in that there are multiple and various grants that are becoming available because of COVID-19. Karen in EMA distributed to the cities and then also to several of the departments, some FEMA reimbursements that are available. EMS has already received notification that under one of the pieces of legislation, based on their revenues, they should receive a certain allocation. Some of the supplies, I think we can apply for, we're getting notices of Department of Justice grants, whatever we've put into COVID-19, that we can apply for reimbursement under the Department of Justice. So I just wanted to make you aware as we're looking at expenditures and you might be seeing some of that come through, that I feel that the majority of that, if not all, and maybe then some, is going to be reimbursed from either the state or federal government. So just a little general update.
Commissioner Meade?
Is it possible that we could get a list of those things that we're going to be working on so we can kind of check them off as they occur and know what to ask when we're looking for a status?
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Any other discussion or questions to the mayor? All right, next up is Law Director, Jay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have before you tonight the vehicle maintenance agreement with Anderson County Water Authority. This is very similar to what we did with Rocky Top. What this allows is for our fleet maintenance department to do vehicle service for the Anderson County Water Authority. In return, they'll pay for all parts plus $65 per hour. It's non-exclusive. That means that we can reject at any time and they don't have to use us. If we're too busy working on our own vehicles, then Mr. Vickery is going to reject their work. It's just on availability. If we have room in our bays, then he'll be glad to take the work on at $65 per hour. Anything over $1,000 has to have agreement from Anderson County Water Authority. They have to pay us within 45 days of invoice. It's very similar to what we've done before. Yeah. But anyway, we've got an agreement outstanding with Rocky Top and the city of Clinton for Harley Davidson motorcycles. But does anybody have any questions regarding this agreement?
Commissioner Creasy?
Yeah, I move we approve.
Second.
I have a motion to say, Commissioner Meade, did you want to speak?
No, I just wanted to say, I was going to make the motion. Now I'm seconding the motion. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Yeager?
Nope, just going to get ready to vote.
Okay. Any other discussion? Annette, will you call the roll, please?
Yes. Wandale,
Yes.
Jameson,
Yes.
Anderson, McCamey,
Yes.
Yeager,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Creasy,
Yes,
Meade,
Yes.
Anderson. I couldn't hear him.
I think he was sending Morse code.
Okay. Was it a yes?
I was actually looking that up, Commissioner Isbell. Like I put Morse code 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a
All
yeah.
right.
Did I did or something like that.
That's record flat. That was unanimous vote. Anything else with Jay, our law director? Jay, have you got the resolution, the sample resolution from Roane County for the Asian carp?
Yes, sir, I do. I can modify that if you so desire and change it to Anderson County. I do have the other resolution for electronic meetings. We need to pass that pursuant to a request from CTAS. Everybody should have got a copy of that earlier today from me.
Okay, let's take that one up first.
Does anybody have any questions about it? It's a resolution authorizing electronic meetings. You should have a copy. It's got 8 exhibits attached to it. Those exhibits are basically the law that is referenced inside of the body of the resolution.
Commissioner Meade, did you want to speak?
I just wanted to make a motion to approve, and then I have just a question. Does this automatically go away after the COVID virus emergency is over?
We do not have a sunset provision in there, and the statute that's referenced in there does allow electronic monitoring at any time. But the authority for it is the governor's executive's order. So I guess if that's overturned or rescinded, then that would go away. The authority would. But we do have authority now to conduct electronic meetings. That statute is attached to the resolution.
I think it's fine as is then.
Commissioner Anderson, did you want to speak? Commissioner Yeager.
Yeah, I'll second Commissioner Meade's motion.
Okay. Commissioner Creasy, did you want to speak earlier?
Was just gonna second.
Okay. Any other discussion? Annette, call the roll, please.
Wandale,
Yes.
Jameson,
Yes.
Anderson, McCamey,
Yes.
Yeager,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Creasy,
Yes.
and Meade.
Yes.
Yes. Sorry, I don't know why this is doing this.
I got it. It's all 8. Yes.
Okay. All right. Jay, you want to discuss the Asian carp now?
Well, I don't have much to discuss about it other than the fact it was put on the agenda by Commissioner Meredith, and he sent me a copy of the resolution. I've read through that. I can adjust that resolution and have it ready for the agenda deadline if you so desire.
Commissioner Jameson, do you want to speak?
No.
Okay, Commissioner Meade. Commissioner Yeager.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to put in that. We don't have a resolution number, do we, Jay?
No, sir. It may be 813.
Okay.
20-04-813. That's the next in line.
All right, and then I'll make a motion to approve the writing up of that resolution.
Thanks, sir.
Second the motion.
We have a motion by Commissioner Yeager, second by Commissioner McCamey. Any discussion?
Is this to forward to the full commission?
That is correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Annette, call the roll, please.
Okay, it didn't go on. It didn't unmute. Wandale,
Yes.
Jameson,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
McCamey,
Yes.
Yeager,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Creasy,
Yes.
and Meade.
Yes.
It's all 8.
Okay. Anything else of the law director?
No, so that's all I have.
Okay. Next is new business. Do we have any new business come before the committee?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I would like to ask if, and maybe Jay and the mayor can think about it, but I think what I'd like to do is ask the IT director to maintain an active list of these virtual meetings, the dates and times, and then the go-to-meeting details. I notice on our agenda and many of the other agendas, we have still the same room number, same time, and I'd like to see that replaced if everybody's in agreement with the go-to-meeting information. Because obviously we're not meeting in the courthouse in room 312, and it's not just this meeting. We're doing it on all the meetings. I want to be able to have a record, if we could, on the minutes, and if the IT director could keep that information and provide it to Ned or to Nicole, so he can put it into the minutes. I think that'd be helpful.
Mr. Chairman, can I address Commissioner Wandell?
Sure.
Commissioner Wandell, we do have a template that's been distributed to Annette and any department that wants to do an electronic meeting. It tells you how to go to meetings and the access code. It's actually attached as Exhibit 8 to the electronic meeting resolution you just passed. And also, I'll get with Brian and we'd be glad to keep a log. I think he's already doing that, Commissioner Wandell, but I'll make sure he is doing that. Does that we don't have that agenda notice that has room 312 on it. That's not being published for any of these meetings. It's a special electronic notice agenda. Is that taking care of your questions? Keep a log and change that agenda notice. Is that what you asked?
Yeah, I just want to be able to have folks that might have questions about the meetings and plus I don't know how we're advertising these. I guess we're advertising them on Channel 95 and what the website, I guess, but I just want to make sure we got all that information captured for each committee, so no one can say they couldn't find it. It's on there, you know. So I guess that does interest me.
Yeah, that's very good for you to mention this. The recording is available within 48 hours. It was available within 12 hours last week. So within 48 hours, it'll be on ACTV. And it is being publicly noticed through all the media outlets, and it's put in the paper if we have time. We barely got the county commission one in the paper that this morning before 10 o'clock, thanks to Annette, it was done. But it'll have the access code published in the newspaper. And all our normal outlets for public notification will have this agenda notice with the access code. But thank you for your comments on that.
And thank you, Jay, and thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any old business? Is there anyone out there in the audience that would like to address this committee that maybe didn't get signed up early enough?
Mr. Chairman, I have, I had a new piece of business, which I just distributed a MOU for the operation of the Anderson County Senior Center. And I did send that to Jay, and I noticed I made numerous errors in there after I hit the send button to you all. But I thought it was a good starting point for at least how the bills are going to be paid. And if you want to bring that up to discuss, I just sent that out to you, or we can discuss it at another time. But I just wanted to raise that topic.
Sure. If anyone's got any questions of the mayor about that, feel free.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to forward that to Jay Yeager for his review and present it back to either operations or full commission.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion, Commissioner Yeager?
The closing date would be on May 8th. Is that right now? What was the new date?
Yes, sir. May 8th.
Okay, if we go, so would this allow them to go into that building on the 9th? Because that would be probably before all of our action. Do we need this MOU in place?
No, sir, it would not. They still would, the 8th would be closing, and then we would still have to, everything is being moved forward. So we would still need to do the wall, the move. So we're still looking at another 30 to 45 days before we would get in there.
Okay, so the MOU wouldn't necessarily be in play yet then by the next operations meeting then?
No, but if Jay, can tweak it by the full meeting, we could certainly approve it at the full meeting.
Okay.
I know you mentioned at purchasing, perhaps the ability to to let other outside organizations other than Anderson County use it, like the Girl Scouts or something, but we can always work on that in the future. For now, it just allows, if commission wanted to use it or another government branch, you know, inside Anderson County, they would be able to use that for free of charge.
Okay, thanks.
Mr. Chairman, can I speak on that issue?
Sure.
Thank you, Mayor, for all your work on that. I did announce at last month's county commission meeting that if anybody had any ideas for inclusion in this MOU, to please get with me. I've not heard of any ideas. I've not gotten a response from anyone, but please review what the mayor has taken time to put together. Read it thoroughly, and if you see anything that's missing or anything you'd like to see and bring to the full body of county commission for approval, please let me know and I'll put that in there. But thank you for your comments if you have any, and I'll get this ready for you. Thank you.
Okay, we've got a motion by Commissioner Wandale. Do we have a second for that?
Second.
Okay, any other discussion? Commissioner Wandale, do you want that to just say to have it ready by our next meeting?
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right. Any other discussion? Commissioner Meade?
So what we're voting on is to take this back to operations?
No.
Or to pass it straight on to the full commission at this month's meeting?
I think Commissioner Wandale, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's to go to this month's meeting.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
To this month's commission meeting?
That's correct.
Okay.
If Jay gets it done in time, yes, sir.
Any other discussion? Annette, call the roll, please.
Wandale,
Yes.
Jameson,
Yes.
Anderson, McCamey,
Yes.
Yeager,
Yes.
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Creasy,
Yes.
and Mead.
Yes.
Okay, that's all 8. And who was the second? Who made the second?
That was Commissioner Yeager.
Okay.
Okay. Any other business? Any comments?
I have one piece of old business, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
I mentioned at this month's meeting that Bill Blankenship would come to Operations Committee to talk about single entrance. And because of COVID-19 and, you know, just bringing different drawings and ideas, we put that off. And what I'm proposing, if it's acceptable to the committee, would be for myself, the sheriff, perhaps some fee officials, maybe one commissioner, to be able to work in a small group to perhaps vet and fine tune some of the ideas and bring those back, to be able to work with the architect and bring those back to commission. I had reached out to Commissioner Yeager because he's been kind of a driving force on the single entrance and has been at the security committee. And I thought he might be a good representative, and he is willing to do that if you all think that's acceptable. Ideally, it would be better to have more commissioners, but then we get into into a gathering issue, and then also public notice. So I thought that would be fine just for one commissioner. And just to give you a little update, the response, having the single entrance here in light of COVID, has been very positive. The badges for employees, they still work for the rear entrances, for example. And so employees who have, the proper credentials can still come in those entrances. They don't have to use the single entrance at the front. So I think this is kind of a really good opportunity to make some progress on the single entrance for security reasons. which would eliminate some of the problems we've had, second floor, first floor versus third floor. And so that's the idea. I wanted to just kind of bring it to your attention and see what you thought about it. Whether you want to do an official motion or not is completely up to you, but I just thought I'd bring that idea to you.
Commissioner Mead?
Yeah, I just wanted to add in that we need to make sure that the ADA folks get involved in the approval of this. There's very limited parking around the front of the courthouse during the day. The other thing is we're going to need to make sure we have some kind of training for badged folks that can open doors that are not being subject to we have a single entrance and everyone's being searched. But if we're allowing people to go in and out other doors that are badged, we need to make sure that they don't allow anybody to come through with them.
Okay, does anybody want to make a motion with that? And I think it's a good idea about Commissioner Yeager being on that committee.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and second. Any discussion? Commissioner Jameson?
I'm ready to vote.
Oh, okay. Annette, do you want to repeat the motion?
I didn't get the whole thing.
Okay. Mayor, you want to restate that?
Yes, establish a working group to work with an architect to be able to narrow down ideas and present ideas to the operations committee for consideration for a single entrance for security reasons.
Okay. Commissioner Anderson?
Oh, sorry, I was just ready to vote.
Okay. Commissioner Wandale?
Maybe should we add Yeager to that motion or just wait?
Oh, yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Well, I don't want to give him time to back out.
Commissioner McCamey, do you want to speak?
Yeah, I was just going to say that it might be a good idea if he's willing to accept this.
Yes, Mayor and I talked about this, and this is just fine.
Commissioner Creasy?
Yeah, is the sheriff going to be part of this working group, Mayor?
Yeah, my plan is if he's willing to accept the mission, my plan is to reach out to him. And then two fee officials because the fee officials have been kind of holding back, or they've been the ones that have had the concerns about doing this.
I think somebody is interrupting with you, Mayor, and I can't really, was unable to copy what you said. There was an interference or a background noise. Could you repeat, please?
Yeah, yes, the sheriff.
And I'm sorry to ask.
Sure. My thinking was the sheriff, Commissioner Yeager, and then two fee officials. And of course, to answer Commissioner Mead's comments about the ADA, once we get to an idea phase, so we don't even know, for instance, where that single entrance would be. It might be best to be around the backside or create another, a side entrance or something. All of that would be I just would like to get something off the ground sooner rather than later and not wait until we're completely through the whole COVID event. So I thought that small working group would be better to just get us started while we have a single entrance in place and while everyone likes it.
Well, since I won't be represented on that committee, I'd like to say one thing now. I don't like the idea of multiple entrances when we are using security. I would like to, if we're having other entrances for employees only, I'd like to have a security guard at that entrance also, to answer Steve Mead's question on that. I feel very strongly about the security issue.
Yes, sir. And all of those ideas would come back to you. And for instance, in Knox County, the city county building, as an example, the public entrance where they have the security screening is co-located with the employee entrance. So the employees are able to use their badge, but the guards are, the sheriff's deputies are right there co-located. So the employees are coming in from the side and, you know, the deputies are making sure they have their badge, but they don't have to wait in the line to go through the security screening, if that makes sense. So those are things that we definitely will look at, Commissioner Creasy. But again, it will all come back to you. And then, of course, it would go to the ADA committee as well.
Yeah, I like their approach. Yeah, the Knox County approach. Thank you very much.
Commissioner Meade.
Yeah, I want to point out that all these doors are under continuous video surveillance. So if anybody even thought or by just negligence allowed somebody else to come in the door, it wouldn't take long to get them trained up. I mean, because there's absolute evidence if somebody's letting other people through the door using their badge. It's not like you think you might get away with it. You know you will not get away with it. Thanks.
Any other discussion? Annette, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, call the roll. Oh, Commissioner Wandale.
Oh, I was just ready to vote.
Okay. Annette, call the roll, please.
Wandale,
Yes.
Jameson,
Yes.
Anderson, McCamey,
Yes.
Yeager,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Creasy,
Yes,
Meade.
Yes.
Didn't get Anderson's answer.
Yes.
Okay. It's all 8.
Okay. All right. That's great. Mayor, you got anything else?
No, sir.
Anyone else? Motion to adjourn?
Motion to
I'd
adjourn.
like to say one thing.
Oh,
Yes,
sorry.
Commissioner Creasy.
You did an excellent job, Commissioner Isabel, chairing this difficult meeting. I think we did very well, and I think everyone performed very well. I think
Hey.
the public will be proud of us.
Yeah, it was you all that did it. And all I did was sit here and look at the pictures.
But you coordinated very well. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Y'all have a safe night. Thank you.
Thank you.